Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Black to Reality.
Black to reality. Blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Hi.
So, how are you?
I'm doing well. This is Chaz.
This is Danique. Otra vez.
And we're here.
And we're queer and we're black, so get used to it.
Yes.
All right.
Hi. I'm doing well today. I've had a long work day. I swear, every time we start recording, there's like random noise that always happens. I love it though.
That's what happens.
I'm glad to be here with you and our producer over here.
Yes.
We have
Miss
a couple of things to talk about today, so I'm excited. How you doing?
I am hanging in there like testicles. I am trying hard.
Like penis.
Penises.
Word association.
Word association. But, all is well. No complaints. Just trying to make it like everybody else. I'm a squirrel. What they say?
Catch
just
a nut?
squirrel. That's what we gonna say now.
What is it?
I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, but I'll catch a nut.
I cannot.
All right.
We just got
Unhinging like snakes.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, there's so much that's been going on this week, and
Where to start?
we are gonna give our 2, 3,
Black
5
assets.
silver dollar cents up in this bitch. So I think maybe we can start with. Should
Today
we start
I-
it with
oh.
Trump
Oh.
and the tweets?
You want to talk about Trump and the Zinks?
Well, I don't know what he said, so maybe not.
Let's start with, okay. We should start with, so this week I painted my nails for work, right?
Okay.
I painted in black.
Oh, you painted it for work? I didn't know that. Okay.
See, yeah, I did. I painted for work. Because I wanted to interrupt or disrupt ideals of like masculinity and like professionalism.
Okay.
And one, I always get compliments on my outfits at work. And
You do have badass outfits. I really
Thank
do like
you.
them. But they're like a mix between professional but also youth.
yes, color.
Yeah.
I think it's queer too. Well, I make it queer. Like I think anyone can wear it who's not queer, but
Yeah, the gender lines are, the heteronormative,
Mhm.
like,
ways of
it's
expression.
totally being blended now, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I did my nails for work. I painted them black. I'm allergic to polish, so I did it for a reason. I know. Because I realized that some folks had really old ideas of like masculinity and femininity and bodies, and I wanted to be intentional about like the space that I took at work. And it's interesting to see how folks like interact with me, and they notice my hands, and like they do like a slight adjustment
Because they're uncomfortable?
because they're uncomfortable, or they're not used to seeing someone who presents as a masculine presenting person with like nails.
I see. Okay.
Even though they're black, because I see more like masculine presenting people are guys with black nails now, but I think that was linked to like
too, yeah.
punk rock, but I think I see
Right.
more people doing that now in general. And so I did that. It was intentional, and it's been working. I'm gonna take them off today though, because my fingers are becoming extra dry underneath the nail because my allergy.
That's crazy. And it just happened out of nowhere, which is crazy as well. But, okay.
That's something I did today for.
I think we have to do that every chance we get, is to resist in any way, whether it be small or large. So I commend you, my friend.
Oh, thank
Yay.
you. With my nails.
Yes.
That's how it resists
Baby steps.
patriarchy. Masculine.
I wish I could do that without.
Yeah. Well, you probably can. What would happen in like corporate?
Well, I'm a temp, so.
Oh, okay. You can't do that.
Can't do
When
anything.
your job's on somebody else's
Right.
line, you can't do it.
So, that being said, you did a little speaking engagement regarding
I did. So
masculine and femme, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I think that's such a relevant topic, and it's been an ongoing topic, and it's something that I can totally relate to.
Yeah. So outside of like my 9 to 5, I also do like workshops and lectures about identity, social justice, higher education. In particular, I did a conversation. I had a conversation on men and masculinities, in which I'm in the works of creating like a retreat specifically designed for men and folks, masculine-centered people, looking at the ways masculinity, toxic masculinity, or just masculinity in general affects a person in harmful ways. Anyways, the talk for the folks, it was good, but I had a lot of resistance for people, so I was educating them a lot about gender.
Resistance. Now, was it straight people part of that conversation, or was it just...
Yeah, it was predominantly cisgender straight folks.
Okay.
Of color. And a lot of resistance in that. A lot of folks didn't accept the idea of like there are folks who exist beyond the binary of gender, and some folks were pushing back on this idea of like queerness and why are people queer in 2017. And I was like, gosh, 2017
why
LA,
people are queer.
Yeah, and saying things, just directly saying that being not straight has to do with, there's a scientific reason people are not straight, and that there's a lot of evidence that's showing all these things. And so, and this was a 2-part lecture.
Okay.
So the first one, I was like warming up to them. They were warming up to me, but they were the kind of educated that I am. I don't shy away from folks' outrageous comments or things, and I'm direct in my...
So there were like outrageous comments that were...
Oh my goodness, yes. And I'm also a person who's okay with people having these comments, but I need them to know where they're coming from. Like I literally said, that's your opinion, and I want you to know your opinion is informed by white supremacy, is informed by oppressive thought that you have been conditioned to think. Mm-hmm. People don't like when I say things like that. So, anyways, for part 2 of the lecture, I decided to, fem up a little bit. So that's why I did these nails.
Subtle, but
like also not.
Yes,
also not.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was good. I love doing these talks. And
so it wasn't like your stereotypical, well, I wouldn't say stereotypical, but like just straightforward conversation of mannerisms, but more so the nuances, I guess.
Yes, the complexities of like mannerisms, the complexity of like what informs mannerisms, like where is these things coming from, institutional structures, systemic structures. I'm sorry, everybody, my voice is kind of weird because I'm drinking vodka just straight right now.
Well, that's what we gotta do.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Mm-hmm. You have any thoughts?
I think that's such that is a much needed topic to discuss, because I think as we progress, in consciousness and just everything, I think as a unit, we need to continue to challenge not only what masculine and feminine is, but the concept of it being right and wrong, I guess, or what should be and what shouldn't be. It makes me think of like my time in Asia when it wasn't necessarily, well, it definitely was a mask and femme type of, ideology of what should be and what shouldn't be, but it's definitely way more either relaxed or just different, which it doesn't fit into,
what does it to like here?
Right, exactly, here in the States. Yeah. And so I remember how freeing it was to just like be myself without, especially when it comes to, I won't say dating, but like, when you're in the club or you're out and you're in a gay area, you want people to like notice you, or you want, to pick up people or whatever, you go out to sometimes to have fun, but the fact that I didn't have to think about that versus here where I have to think about that because that's something that's not necessarily desired as a femme person was so freeing. And so I think it's really interesting that you know, kind of spoke about that because, you know, you get to, I think through the conversations, you're able to see how far we've gone, but also how far we need to go.
Yeah. And one of the conversations, because this linked into, I think, what we want to discuss later, we talked about one question that I posed because it was centered for Black scholars. So the conversation I was having was specifically for like Black scholars, folks of African descent. And I said, which is a question that's been going around if you've been listening or you've been reading people out there, is do all Black lives matter? So this was a question designed specifically for Black people. Like, do all Black lives matter?
Okay, I need more details on that. I don't. What do you mean by that?
Like, so we have Black Lives Matter movement, and so it's saying like Black lives in fact matter because we are here, we matter. Period. But then if you look at within in group like Black communities, because and I'm talking about Black folks in the Americas, but also Black folks outside of the Americas are still victims of colonization.
Yes.
So then we also function, or we still function within this hierarchy of systems. So that means even in group, Black people, just Black on Black people, we still have a hierarchy of valuing lives within ourselves. So like Black folks, Black community can still uphold sexism. So therefore, Black women are superior to Black men. Things like that.
I like that question. And then, now I get it.
Yeah, so the question was that, and then some people didn't really like that I asked that question because by this time they knew where I was going with it.
It's a challenge.
It is.
It's a challenge. You say Black Lives Matter, but do all Black lives really matter?
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah.
And are you doing what you need to do to make sure that is, you know, that you're upholding what you're saying?
Exactly.
You know? So that's brilliant.
It was good, and we talked about how like we are taught because of patriarchy to always protect, taught and conditioned to protect and defend men first, which means men are valued over them and women.
Yes.
So when things happen, like the dominant narrative or the narrative that's more heard with the Black Lives Matter movement is that if you hear people say Black Lives Matter is about the killing of Black men, you hear that often. But that means, what about the women and femmes who are murdered?
Right. What about the transsexuals that are murdered?
The transgender women. Exactly. So we talked about that. And so how we gotta, within our communities, we have to like decolonize or uncondition ourselves. Uncondition.
Yeah, we have to,
ourselves from those systems because all Black lives matter.
And it's so, you know, it brings me to a point where I hear often that people say that they're tired of talking about it or tired of hearing about it. And they kind of want to change the narrative. But it's so important to actually talk about it. And I think it's a privilege to not have to worry about it or talk about it or, you know, even say, like, I'm tired of it. Like, and so I'm glad that you're, you know, moving forward and you're being the forefront of that movement, you know, any way you can, you know.
I think this show is part of that. I think this show, what we do is trying to like expand the narrative of like what it means to be who we are, representing of the identities that we carry, both what we similarly carry and those that we do not, the identities that you and I both don't share together. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. Because that's also another thing too. What I grasped from that last comment is that it's almost like you can't just surround yourself and speak to people that talk about this, that agree with you or only have like the same, because there's no perspective gained from surrounding yourself with people that are just exactly like you. Yeah. It has to be there has to be conversations from both sides to get a mutual understanding and to gain growth in consciousness, I believe.
Absolutely. Yes,
very good.
And I think that leads into, so I think we can just transition to kneeling.
Yes.
So the football
Speaking
kneeling.
of black men.
Yes, black men's is.
Black men's is. Because, I mean, the NFL is pretty much full of a lot of black men.
Full of black men.
Black beautiful men.
Well,
they're beautiful.
Yeah. They are beautiful. A lot of them stupid, but...
okay. I did not say it, but you know.
Black men players and white men owners.
You ain't never lied.
So speaking of that, go ahead. Take it away.
Okay, so this type of protest has actually been happening for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of... I do find it a little interesting that it's blowing up the way it does because it's been happening.
Well, that's one thing you don't do is mess with white people and their flag and their patriotism, especially if you're black.
So a peaceful protest,
Yes.
kneeling, which is such a submissive way to protest as well, in the sense of the stance itself. You know what I'm saying?
You're
to be in this vulnerable position.
Yeah.
Being on your knees. And it still is not... It still is causing this ruckus that it does. And I think, I've been asked, how do I feel about it? I feel that it needs to happen. I'm glad that it's happening. I'm glad that it's sparking conversation that we've been talking about forever.
Yeah.
And I'm also coming from a place like this isn't new. But,
the brutality of like black people.
Yeah, but also like peaceful protests in general.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I am curious. I'm curious and I'm not curious, but like, how else can we voice our opinion? Like, if we can't kneel, like, what else? What do you want? Yeah, like, what? I don't know what else to do. Like, and with that anthem, I mean, I think even kneeling is a lot, because that anthem, they don't sing the third stanza for a reason. That anthem isn't for everybody.
No.
So it's like...
Just like the Pledge of Allegiance.
It's not for everybody.
It's not true. It's fallacious.
Not true. Yeah.
It's fallacy. And so, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I think the kneel, if it's working to get dialogue, that's cool. White people and other folks. Well, I think all people of certain, like, regardless of ethnicity, some of them who are anti-black are upset about it. I was driving to work the other day, listening to 96.3. And 96.3 is radio station. And it's LA, the quote-unquote Latino radio station. So they play, like, hip-hop, reggaeton.
Okay.
Bachata. They play, like...
I got one eyebrow raised, but go ahead.
Yes. So I was... and I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
For folks, I'm not a morning person, but I have to wake up early because I have to drive to work and it takes me an hour to get there. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, I wasn't feeling great because it was morning, but I'm listening to the radio station, which I don't do. I usually listen to my own music. And so on the radio station, they were saying that was the day after Trump called anyone who's protesting the flag and during football SOBs. Son of a... Did you know that?
Are you serious? No, I did not know that. Cause
Trump literally was at his rally.
That's real presidential, calling people son of a bitches? Are you serious? He gets away with everything.
Yeah. Why is he still doing rallies though? You're the president. You ain't got to do no goddamn rallies. Anyways,
oh my God. Okay.
He was talking about how if anyone is protesting football and they're kneeling, that's an insult, and that the coaches need to kick them son of a bees off the team. And so, anyways, the radio, 96.3 The Beat, they were like, the what do they call it? DJs? The DJs? She was
they're DJs.
Yeah, so she was like, how do you all feel about that? And they had a guest on there. She was asking particularly, how do you feel about the protesting?
And she's Latina, right?
Yes.
Okay.
These are all Latinx folks.
Okay.
And the station is in English and Spanish, so they speak in Spanglish a lot. So you get some people who call it, he's only speaking in Spanish, some people call it, they're speaking in English, some people are speaking in both. Okay. So she was saying, do you agree with the protest? Blah, blah, blah. And then they already had a guest on the show that day, and he was talking about, he agrees with Trump that folks protesting are disrespectful and that they need to respect the flag and the country. And then I was like, that is irritating. And so they opened up the cause. And I was like, I wonder what folks are going to say. Mind you, a Latino.
And I wonder if they even know the history while they're even speaking like that.
They do, because someone called. Well, the DJ was like, well, you know they're protesting because murder of black people, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, it's still, you can do it a different way. No one ever says one other way because we've done every way. And this is the most passive way to do it. But people were calling in. And Danique, I got so pissed because so many people were like, we agree that protesting the flag is disrespectful.
So many people.
Brown people.
They don't, but it goes back to what
That's
I initially
so anti-black.
said. Yeah, because it's like the song isn't for
them.
any POC, period. Like, and so that's just so weird. And that's why I say, do they really understand the history? I wonder, do they know?
I think it doesn't even matter if they know or not, because you don't have to know the song.
Is it brainwashing?
If you know, it's just anti-blackness is deeply rooted. When someone tells you they are protesting the death of black people because this country continues to kill black people without any like repercussion, and they say, but the way that you're protesting is wrong, that means they are not valuing black people, black lives. This idea of like patriotism. One is white. Patriotism to me is white, and not just in the United States. Just like these ideas of borders are they built on.
Oh, it's a construct of whiteness.
Yeah, exactly. It's built on creating a separate identity. Like I am not like there are black people still. Dominican Republic of Haiti is a prime example.
Right, that is a
share
prime
one
example.
island.
Yeah,
black people, and yet they will fight. I shouldn't talk about that because I am not Haitian nor am I Dominican. But from what I understand,
but it's like they don't even understand the conditioning that Trujillo did. They don't understand the root of why they feel the way they do, and don't understand the logistics behind how it actually is not for them. Like what they're thinking of is pernicious. Like it harms them, but they don't see it. They don't even see their blackness, like in a literal sense.
Exactly.
So it's really, really bad. It's really weird too. But
that's that part, the conditioning you're talking about.
So I know exactly what you're talking. I'll speak on it because I got Dominican in my family. But
I tried calling 5 times on my way to work. They didn't get me through. I was so livid. And kind of hurt too, because I want us to be better at this point. But yeah, 96.3 to 96.3. I'm boycotting it for another week. Yeah. Because you know me. I was like, nope.
Well, I mean, it was the opinion of the people. It wasn't necessarily their opinions, but.
Yeah, it wasn't their opinion, but I don't think they challenged the guest who was like, we protesting the flag is like not patriotic and you need to do better.
Yeah. And I think it also is. There's a certain mentality and it's a certain class that some Latinos have in their country, and they bring that ideology over here, not even realizing that in the States that they're being treated as second-class citizens, or that they're actually being looked at as...
Or maybe they do. I think some of them know that, because I know a lot of folks, even within our my families, who know that they're not white and they're a second class like citizen, but still uphold anti-black ass ideologies or uphold anti-indigenous ideologies. You know, like it's rooted in our cultures.
Yeah. American culture. American being the continent.
The continent, the Americas.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it was tight what you were about to say, leaning into like second class citizenship. Like 96.3 the beat. 96.3, not the beat. I keep saying the beat.
We don't need to give up any fucking recognition anyways. But...
Right. And La Mega?
Okay. Yeah. I don't listen to that. But go ahead.
Second class citizens. So they are defending whiteness, the administration, Trump. And yet there are some folks who's really been treated like it's not really a part of the United States right now, who's going through.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Going through tragedy?
Going through tragedy, going through... I want to say this. I'm not necessarily sure if it's accurate, but I will say whenever places of color is affected by natural disaster, I don't feel like they ever even come. Puerto Rico is being treated as if it's not U.S. territory,
right?
But they didn't do that for New Orleans. They didn't do that.
They didn't send full support for like New
Orleans.
So
it's like whenever POC is affected, but even to speak on that, like the ignorance, like there's so many people that just are unaware that PR, even VI, you know,
the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico are all territories are part of the United States. Like that is a fact that people don't know. In 2017, our education system it's not that great. There's no reason why you should come out of elementary school and not know all of the commonwealths, all the territories.
Well, they say like 50 states, right? And then they just states. Like I guess whatever the rest. Or
they don't talk about Guam. They don't talk about Guam. They don't talk about the U.S. Virgin Islands. They don't talk about Puerto Rico. They don't talk about all these territories.
And Puerto Rico is like in this state of emergency, but like it's almost like apocalyptic. I mean, there's a curfew. Yeah. No, but just even feedback that I've heard from like friends, like when it comes to the curfew, when it comes to like no power, no electricity, no water, the hospitals not having the proper supplies or energy or anything that's needed. And then even hearing that there's other countries willing to help, but they're unable to because of, I guess, Trump not letting them, or it's just so much. And
it is a lot. Trump administration was popping off on NFL in Puerto Rico was in a disaster. They still are. And how it took him a few days, I think it was a few days, for him to reply via Twitter. We have a Twitter trigger for president.
I don't understand why he's not banned from Twitter. Wait, don't they just block people? Like the things that he said, they usually like block. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was anybody else, he would have been banned from Twitter.
Like, not Twitter. Twitter is keeping him alive and healthy. And how he in his tweet, I think it was like 3 pages of tweets, 3 screenshots of tweets, and him saying that basically there is some support going to Puerto Rico now.
Okay.
But the damages that happened in PR were due to horrible infrastructure because it is in so much debt, so much money to the U.S. And so, though there are damages that are happening, it's not really the hurricane's fault. It was because it's just been bad. And that they are working on the important things like food and water right now. I don't know what to do with that message. I don't know.
It's shitty, and he didn't write it.
Well, if there was any typos, he wrote it. If there were typos, I don't know. He wrote it.
No, he definitely, that was like a press. That was someone that helped him with that. And it was shitty. So
he did mention the debt. That's something you need to deal with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he did talk about PR having to work on the debt they have to.
Without without having a conversation of why.
Yeah. And it's so effed up. And when you talk about PR's debt, just like when you talk about Haitian debt.
Right.
Let's
talk about how it got that way.
Yes.
You know?
Like why they're in this made up ass debt in the first place. Like they have resources for themselves. The island has resources and it can thrive, but under these oppressive systems, It can.
Yeah.
The U.S. is an oppressive system to PR.
What do you want to add, Yachty?
Well, no, one of these oppressive systems throughout the history of colonialism in Puerto Rico includes the Jones Act. Well, that's one of the many other, policies that keep us from really thriving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even right now, yes, FEMA has been sent over and everything, but they're still waiting for orders so that they can actually mobilize. And there's a lot of issues with infrastructure that need to be taken care of. But who's going to take care of it? Like, nobody's really doing anything. So, you can say, oh, FEMA's out there. Oh yeah, we
That's
sent
exactly
help,
what he
whatever.
said.
But you're
Hashtag
not really,
FEMA.
Yeah. But you're not really following through, like
Right.
they're there, but what exactly are they doing,
Yeah. So
It's
hopefully
tragic.
tomorrow, like, mail services will be up and running in PR, like UPS will be up and running and stuff like that. So much love to your family out there, Jody. And I don't know if you still have family on PR.
I don't know my family in PR, but I contacted my friends.
Yeah.
And so that's how I knew the little that I knew was from conversing with friends.
Much love to them. It's a hard time. So take care of yourselves. If y'all out there, you're listening, take care of yourselves. Do what you gotta do. If it's like, take a little puff, take a little swig, do what you gotta do.
Hey.
Kind of sound like Cardi B right now.
Yeah,
Speaking of
Miss
another
Cardi B, she's
Black Caribbean woman.
winning. She's winning.
I don't care now. I make money moves. Did I say that right?
I think you
I
did.
did say that right.
I think you did.
Cardi B, congratulations to her, I guess.
Yeah, she. So, what was it that she got number one on? Is
The
it number one
Billboard,
song?
100th on the top Billboard. 100.
Top, okay.
100 list? How do you say that? Help me out. 100 list?
Oh, I don't
songs,
know.
Billboard?
It was like number one song on the
100
Billboard.
chart. Billboard chart.
Oh, okay.
What is it called? 100 song Billboard charts award?
Number one on the top 100 on the Billboard
Thank
charts.
you. Damn. I'm all like, what is it? That's it.
Which-
She got number one
I guess that's amazing.
for Bodak Yellow.
So, Cardi B is an interesting character because, I shouldn't say character, she's an interesting person. I take that back, I'm sorry. Cardi B is an interesting person. There's been mixed reviews, emotions regarding who she is and what she represents, and I guess her being number one. And a part of me is just like,
What the people saying?
allow humans to be humans, allow people to be people, and imagine who you were at that age.
She's 24.
Okay.
She's 24.
I'm so glad that shit was not around when I was growing and it was able to be documented and go viral and whatnot. Because it would
like
be
things that you were saying.
Mess.
Social media.
Oh my God.
You would have been a mess.
I would have been burnt at the cross like a
At
steak.
the cross.
Terrible. Yeah, but I will say, I guess I'll start off with the positive. Because I don't, and then we can speak to maybe some of, I guess, the negative stuff. Because I am actually not aware of all the negative stuff. But I think what makes her different compared to maybe either other rappers or...
Like Miss Lil Kimberly Jones?
No, we're not talking, like Nicki Minaj.
Like Onika Minaj?
Like Onika
Mirage.
Mirage. Yeah. Okay, I think one thing that worked in her favor was, and
Who?
she made it work
Cardi
in
B?
her favor, Cardi B, was that, I guess the way she portrayed herself, well, it was a catch-22, because of the way she portrayed herself on Love and Hip Hop. She's definitely what I would call, I don't know, that's probably a dated term, but round the way girl.
That is hella.
It's
You're
so
showing your
dated.
age.
I don't know what else
Yeah,
we
sure.
call it. What is it called? Ratchet?
Hood.
Ratchet, whatever.
I wouldn't call her ratchet. Well, she is, though.
She is ratchet.
I mean, she calls herself ratchet.
But she's so, she's so
Down to
herself,
earth.
so down to earth. She's so, I guess I could say genuine.
Can we just talk for a moment, though, about, like, the Black Caribbean women who are doing great in mainstream? Rihanna, Nicki, Cardi B.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my
Nice.
goodness. That's so
And
good.
repping it hard.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you think Nicki raps Caribbean hard?
Yes.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
You're right. Okay, go ahead. Just shout out to them. Do it.
And yeah, so I think for the masses, they either connected with her, and if they did not connect with her, they knew somebody like her. And so she reminded, them of like somebody they either went to school with or someone in their family or someone they knew, so
exactly.
It was that relatability in that sense, and people liked her because they could relate, and she was fun, and she was funny. So I get in that sense of like how she got to where she is because the power of social media, the power of the TV show, and them being able to see like who she actually is.
Yeah.
And plus her talent and skills, I think kind of made her surpass maybe some other rappers when it comes to strictly the billboards. Because of that.
Her popularity.
Yeah, her popularity.
But
so
this
I
song
understand
is
in that way.
everywhere.
That song that was like...
Still, it's everywhere.
Summer was almost over, and then it came out, and it became the summer anthem.
Right.
Like, how you do that?
And then she dropped the mix in Spanish.
Right, which really gave her crossover appeal, which a lot of rappers, can't necessarily do. They're either really good in Spanish or they're really good in English, and she kind of was able to reach both towards the end of the summer, like just, so that was really, really cool. So I get the positive in that sense, but some of the negative stuff that I've been hearing, or actually I haven't been hearing, but was brought to my attention, so I'll let you speak to that.
What's the negative? Okay, well, there was one. You talk about the N-word? Oh, there was one thing.
I didn't know about that.
Okay, so
you gotta, because I'm from the South and the East Coast, so that N-word when it comes to
there was some
different.
Yeah, some folks have this. There was an article talking about Cardi B as an example how Latinos, and they did the title of the article. Shout out to Walter.
It's almost like the negating. Is that a word? I'm probably
negating like.
Yeah, her Trinidadian side?
No. The article was good. It's just talking
ahead.
about,
Sorry.
It said, and her Dominican side. She black on both sides. But
talks
about how.
Yeah, I'm curious. Go ahead. That's why I'm so confused, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the article was like how Cardi B is an example how Latinos have a interesting or complex relationship with the N-word. And the article, that was the title.
Okay.
To get people to click it. Right?
Okay.
So they were saying how Cardi B... There are some people complaining that Cardi B uses it where she's not black. But it's like, she is black.
Okay.
They're like, she is black. Like, she's Dominican and she's Trinidadian. That's how you say it, right?
I don't know. Is it? Oh.
Trinidadian. Okay.
She's a Trinidadian.
Trini. She's a Trini gal.
Yeah.
Trini gal. Dominican gal. Okay. And from New York. And so the article broke it down and saying like, granted, not all Latinos are black. There's a big distinction between East Coast Latinos and West Coast Latino. And one of the big differences is that East Coast, there are more black or Latinos of African descent on the East Coast than there are on the West Coast. On the West Coast, there are mostly mestizos, which means mix of like indigenous. Or white, or a little bit. Yeah. Or black, but they're not. Majority of the Latinos on the West Coast are not black Latinos or do not have African ancestry.
I can agree with that.
So for those basic facts, the relationship with the N-word is different because like if you're not black, then you shouldn't be saying the N-word. You shouldn't be saying nigga. You shouldn't be saying it. But then the article also explained how like non-black Latinos who may say the word could be because not only is it just in mainstream music, but because Latinos on the West Coast and all over the country actually, and black folk live in the same communities. It's pretty much standard. Like
that's all over the world, all over the nation.
Country. Yeah, exactly. The Latinos on the West Coast, in the article said, just because you live around black people and you are consuming parts of black culture and music, that doesn't give you the right to use the N-word And even if you have a black friend who's like gives you a pass to use it, you have to understand that word in the context of that word. It still carries a lot of negative history. So the article said like Cardi B is a black woman, identifies as a black woman, and she says the N word. That doesn't make people feel good. But that goes back to what you and I were both confused because there are some black people, non-black Latinos,
non-black Latinos,
who are confused to black people existing in places like.
Oh my God!
Dominican
Yes.
Republic,
No,
Puerto Rico.
they listen to all our music,
Mexico.
watch all our videos, eat up all our food, and still not know.
And still don't know.
Yeah, definitely, which is confusing as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw the article, I was like, wait a minute, people are upset that she's using the N word because what?
I think they're really upset because they get, shit when they use it. And they don't.
True.
They want to use it.
True. Yes. So big ups to Cardi.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I agree. And
You want to
it's
talk
a
about
deeper conversation, but that was good.
We should have a conversation with like our
Races in the Latin ethnicity or culture.
Yes, because we have a lot of friends who are like Latinx, who are Caribbean, non-Caribbean Latinx, Black Latinx, non-Black Latinx. So I think
that's definitely a discussion we can have
should
on
totally
another
do that.
episode.
Yeah. I'll just be a moderator as a blackologist.
Okay. I got a lot to say regarding that too, so I like that. Okay.
So another thing that's been going on is, have you heard for the D challenge?
I know
For the
all about
D.
the motherfucking D. And I died and came back to life, resurrected and died again when I saw the D challenge and I saw Erykah Badu do her thing. And who's that guy? Wasn't he a comedian?
He is a comedian. I don't know his
my
name.
God. I remember him back in the day. He was so funny.
I think he's African too because a lot of his comedy talks about him.
Yeah,
being,
he is African.
From Africa.
And my God. But no, both of their freestyle was on point and very funny.
I liked Issa's. I liked Issa's and Regina King.
Regina King, yeah, that was
it
good.
Regina King?
Yes.
Regina
Hall.
Regina Hall.
You made me be wrong with you confidently.
Regina Hall.
Yes,
Not Regina King.
Because she's everything. Regina King's the other one.
Yeah.
She was on Friday.
You did not just pull up. Regina King was not on Friday. Yes, Regina King was on Friday.
Okay.
In
I'm going to
Boys
give you
in
the
the
head alert. Yes. Okay.
She deserves so much
Everything.
because she's been in the game since
for a long time.
227.
Oh my God.
Do you know 227?
Ooh.
227. Anyways.
But no, it's everything and it's going around and everybody's mama and auntie is offended. So.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Black to Reality. That was all our black ass thoughts.
Yes.
And all our black ass opinions and our black sense.
Yes.
Let's get into our sense.
Get into the sense. Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah.
Send us emails, comments. Follow us on all of our social media. Find us at blacktoreality@gmail.com.
That's black with a Q, BLAQ, the number 2, and reality at gmail.com. And we are going to do much better than we're doing. I promise.
Ashe and good night.
All right.
Denise.
Yes.
What'd you do for the D?
I back it up and dunk it for the D.
Ha!
I switch it up and titty shimmy for the D.
Ha-ha.
I Michael Phelps and dive in the D.
Uh-huh.
First in line for the D.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Fuck CP time for the D. Okay. Let me start.
You on time for the D. That's a good one.
I open my mouth and unhinge for the D.
So snaky. I got it.
Suck it all. Balls and all for the D.
Uh-huh. I drop out of school for the D.
Ooh.
Call me boo-boo the fool for the D. Cut off all my locks for the D.
Don't you do it?
Delilah make me box for the D.
Ha! Ha!
So tu papá for the D.
Ooh,
O si tu quieres tu mamá for the D.
Oh.
Fuck plant-based for the D.
Ooh.
Give me shrimp and sex for the D.
Mm.
I miss work for the D.
Oh, don't do that.
Do holy shit like go to church for the D.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.